Hey, Lindsay, how are you?
I'm doing great, Michelle. How's everything going?
Everything's good. Lindsay, do you find moving to be very stressful? You've made a few big moves in your life.
Yes, moving is stressful, period. No, no argument. 100% it is. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've made a yeah, I'm trying to think of how many times I've moved in my life, and definitely it can be stressful. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But guys, first we wanted to remind you that we have this really wonderful app
Yes.
where there are so many features that we want you to get in on. Lindsay, tell us about this app.
Yeah, we love the app. It's available on iOS or Android. Basically, you have a chance to listen to the podcast, but if you want to become a premium member, you get to see the transcripts of the podcast right inside the app and not just seeing the transcripts. You get to tap on keywords that we have pre-selected for you that we
Mhm.
believe will move you to the B2 C1 level. And you get to save those words in your power list and study them, see the definition, right?
Mhm.
You also can slow down the speed of the show, which is
Right.
something we haven't seen in too many other player apps. And now we're offering an exclusive role play vocab review every week. We come together, we do a role play that is a culmination of all the vocabulary words of the week, and that's only in the app. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, really
Yes.
good. All right,
Yeah.
guys, so definitely get on that. That's allearsenglish.com/app, APP.
You got it. Go over there and check it out. So, getting back to moving, Michelle, it is stressful. There's no question about that, right?
Yeah, would you say moving is more stressful than, say, going through a breakup?
Oh, it depends on who you're breaking up with.
That's true. That's
Depends.
true.
Let's say a really important person breakup. No, I think probably moving would be less stressful than that. Just, if you feel like you were in love with the person and that feels more stressful to me. Because logistics are just logistics. They can be ironed out, but people are people and they're in your life. But I think there are not many other things. I would say it's probably in the top 7 most stressful things that could happen to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, there was a poll. So there's an article. It's on nar.realtor. So that's the National Association of Realtors. This was from a couple years back, February 23rd, 2022, and they talked about a poll from move.org, and it says 38% of the people who took this poll
Uh-huh.
said, and I quote, moving is more stressful than parting ways with a significant other. Yes, so
Wow.
that's
Okay.
interesting. So I wanted to share that with you guys. But today, this is I mean, I think most people have moved. I mean, listen, that's a generalization, but many people have gone through moves, and this is
Yeah.
just another great topic to connect with others. I mean, but Lindsay, but why is moving stressful?
I think what's stressful about moving is that everything is kind of floating at the same time. You have no anchor, right? You have no
Mm,
anchor. Everything's in boxes.
mhm,
You don't have a place to cook because you have to do takeout because you're closing down the kitchen. There's
mhm,
no anchor for you. The home is the anchor. And when
mhm,
you lose that, it can be a little stressful. Or when
mhm,
something is not right at home, that can be
mhm.
stressful too. That's another topic for another day. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's true. That is true. The home is the
Mhm.
anchor. And if something, yeah, that's true. It's not just about the moving, it's about your living situation, what's going on. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I recently went through a move and I was living, guys, you probably saw in my other space.
Yes,
I
we
was,
know.
if you've been watching our videos, you've probably seen me in several different locations. I was living in an Airbnb for about 5 months, and
Mhm.
it was really nice, but the kitchen it wasn't somewhere, somewhere where you wanted to spend a lot of time. So we found ourselves just always trying to go out, no matter,
Yeah.
like, not always to eat. I mean, we tried to cook in, but it wasn't really a great setting for cooking.
Yeah.
And just so now we're in a house, but it's also just unpacking the boxes. So it's just been everything has been kind of, I guess we would say, in flux, right?
In flux. Yeah, completely. Everything's in flux. That's a typical move, right? As is again, no central anchor and things are really uncertain about where you're gonna be next, right? Sometimes when we're moving and we're packing up our old home, we don't know what it's gonna be like in the new place, right? It's that
Right.
uncertainty that we can all
Right.
identify with. It brings us all together as humans.
Exactly. So, and you
Mhm.
kind of have to figure out your new routine and your new space. You have to learn where you're living, how all the lights, what light switches go to what lights and
Right,
things like
right.
that, right?
Yep.
But so we're going to talk about this today. So here are some vocab words for the topic of moving. Lindsay, what's the first one? I bet
Okay.
our listeners know this one.
We'll start with a straightforward one. So, pack or unpack. Obviously, you have to do this. There's no way around it. Have you unpacked all your boxes yet? And, if you ask a friend to move, this is my opinion. I have a bias here. If you ask a friend to move, you need to already be packed by the time the friend gets over. Because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had scenarios where I've offered or been willing to help someone move, but you get to their house and you think you're going to be moving boxes, but no, you're putting things in boxes, which is too intimate and it's too dangerous because you could break something. It's not good.
Right.
Not good. So when you
Right.
ask a friend to move, make sure everything is boxed up, labels on the boxes, and all they need to do is walk the boxes outside. That's just my bias.
I think that that's a good idea. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. So here's another one. Two for one. So declutter or sort. So
Mhm.
similar ideas. So declutter is you're kind of you're getting rid of the clutter.
Mhm.
Clutter. What's
Mhm.
clutter, Lindsay?
Clutter is just stuff everywhere, whereas the
Mhm.
opposite of clean and empty, it's busy, right? For example, I have to
Busy.
declutter this room before I start packing. There's so much to sort out into these drawers.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
sort out goes into this because when you're decluttering, sometimes you're sorting, you're putting things
Yeah.
maybe into categories, putting things into the suitcase or the boxes.
Yeah, and I think the word purge goes in here too as a bonus.
Purge,
Often and
yes.
this is why this is how my parents ran into problems. They didn't move for like 25 years. So
Mhm.
by the time they did move, the attic was full of old furniture. And I'm sure this happens to a lot of older couples, just
Mhm.
packed with
Mhm.
stuff from
Mhm.
our childhood. And because they
Mm.
never moved. So if you move frequently, that doesn't happen. Usually you're purging things from other eras of time.
Right.
Like this thing from 5 years ago, our kids have grown out of it. We're going to purge it or give it away. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
No, exactly. And that's yeah, my parents, they downsized and they got rid of so much stuff and I had to go
Yeah.
through my things
Yep,
and
yep, yep, yep,
yeah,
yep.
it's hard. But yeah, Lindsay, do you think it's better to declutter and purge things before you move, like as you're packing up or as you're unpacking?
Oh, I think definitely before you pack things up because you don't want to move and pay to have a moving company move things that you're not going to keep, I think.
Mhm.
So I would do the purging first and
Mhm.
then pack what's left over. Don't you
Mhm.
think?
I think, but unfortunately, my when we were moving, we didn't quite have time
If you
to.
don't have time, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and also we were living in the space, and I have two kids, so
Yeah.
you try and get rid of something, and it bounces back to
Yeah.
you. So now I'm doing a lot of the purging, and it's quite an
Okay.
event.
No,
Um,
that's good too. Yeah, I mean, purging takes a lot of time. You can see an entire Saturday just flash before your eyes
yeah,
when you get into that purge mode. You
yeah.
start at 8 a.m. and before you know it, it's like 7 p.m. You've been purging all day. So if you don't have the
Yes.
time, you have to
And you
move with
have
the
to be
stuff.
in the mood, right? You
Yeah.
can't
Oh, yeah.
you have to be in the right mood.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. And now we're just saying moving day, or sometimes people say moving day or move in day. So,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, this is a
Yeah.
big day. So you could say moving day is Thursday. So I'm taking off work.
Excellent. Okay, Michelle, we have a few more key phrases that our listeners know to be able to have that connection conversation. Big topic here, right? Deep clean. This would go along with purging.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you want to do a deep clean in the new place before you move in. We did this
Mm-hmm.
when we moved into our current house. We had it
Mm-hmm.
professionally cleaned and painted just because someone
Mm-hmm.
else has lived there and you just want to, I don't know, you just want it to feel
Feel
brand
fresh. Yeah.
new, right? Feel
Yeah.
fresh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then the last one is packing supplies or moving boxes. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
do we have any extra packing supplies like bubble wrap or moving boxes? I'm getting ready to move next week.
Yes, love it. So let's get to the important thing, which is why is this really such a big connection topic, Michelle?
Mhm. Well, because it is so intense and people
Yes.
know it is such a big experience in your life because it doesn't happen every day. Well, unless you're maybe like a sports star and you keep getting traded. But like because everybody can relate to this topic, this intense emotional topic.
Mhm.
To relate to people, ask them about their experiences is also a good way to see if a friend needs help with moving. But it's just a very universal topic, in my opinion. What do you think, Lindsay?
Yeah, and I also think it's a real moment where you can find out who your real friends are. To be honest,
Mm.
I think at some point people just decide to start hiring movers, which is probably a rite of passage in life. Like you're
Mhm,
just
mhm.
it's enough at that point. You're going to hire movers. But there's a period of time in most people's lives in their teens and 20s and after college, maybe 30s, 40s, like you still rely on your friends to
Right,
help you move.
right.
And when you ask someone to help you move, what do they say? We find out a lot about our relationships in those
Right.
moments, right?
Exactly, exactly. That's such a good point. So should we do
Yeah.
a role play?
Sure, let's do it, Michelle. So here I just moved and you are my friend. All
All
right.
right. Okay. All
Okay.
right. So how was moving day?
Oh, stressful. I had to really deep clean the place. I let the place I left and the one I moved into as well.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I have packing supplies and moving boxes everywhere. I've barely unpacked anything.
I would just start decluttering once you unpack to make sure you don't have too much. Also, just sort things by room.
Yeah,
You'll get there.
I know. Thanks, Michelle. Woo, it feels really overwhelming when, when the movers have gone away, the moving company has dropped everything in your front hallway, right?
Yeah. And you're just looking at those
Just
boxes.
boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, this is a very human experience. The vast majority of people are going to move at least once in their lives, right?
Yeah.
And so we can relate here. So what did you
Exactly.
say first, Michelle?
So I said, how was moving day?
And then I said, "Oh, stressful. I had to really deep clean the place I left and the one I moved into. That's not good. Not good to have to
No.
clean on both sides."
No, no, no. And then you said, yeah, and I have packing supplies and moving boxes everywhere. I've barely unpacked anything.
And then you said, "I would just start decluttering once you unpack to make sure you don't have too much." Right? And so,
Mhm.
yeah, so you're doing it on the other end, which, yeah, if you don't have time on the front end, you're doing it on the back end. Makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I said, also just sort things by room. So, how to get
Mhm.
organized.
But it's also kind of exciting when you walk into a new home and you have a chance to kind of paint the blank canvas,
Yeah.
right? And decide how you want things to be arranged. And it could be something new, it could be similar to your old home. It's exciting at the same time. So there's a lot of emotions running.
A lot, a lot. So that's why it's such a good connection topic, I think.
Yes.
Guys, if you haven't already, head over to episode 2324. So that was This is indisputably the best way to talk about your opinions in English.
Nice. Love that. Go check out that episode. And I think that's the takeaway is these are big moments. Moving is, weddings, getting married, maybe having a child, moving to
Mhm.
maybe your permanent home, let's say, big moments in life. So you want to share them and not just big moments, even if you're just moving from one apartment to the next you're going to be in, other people have done it. They felt that level of stress. So
Right.
connection topic. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Lindsay. Well, thanks for chatting about this with me today. And guys, let us know if you're going through a move. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious how many of our listeners are going through a move right now. Very interesting,
Mhm.
right? All right.
Mhm.
All right. Take care, Michelle. Talk soon.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.